Hello, badasses. My name is Hilary Ward, and I'm here to talk to you about working with April Yvette Thompson. April and I have known each other for a long time. When I called her, it was after I had been particularly frustrated. I booked a small but supporting role in what was going to be a excellent, high caliber film that was made for Prestige Cable Network. And I got to set, everything was going great. I was getting feedback about my dailies from everybody from the wardrobe assistant to the director who chased me down and told me what a powerful force I am on screen. So I'm thinking, great. I wrap up filming, I get to the premiere in my new dress, I walk the carpet, I got my diamonds, I had my makeup done. We sit down, the lights go down in the theater in the Paramount lot, and I show up in the first 30 seconds and I'm really excited. I see my face, and then the movie goes and goes and goes, and all of my scenes with this big A-list star that I had shot, that I've been getting all this great feedback about, they all got cut. And I knew why. It's because the film wasn't about me. You know, I was playing the wife of someone who was already an important but supporting character. And the director even came up to me after the premiere and said, I know that we did all of this great work, but if I was making a 3-hour movie, that would be one thing, but I'm making a 2-hour movie, so I'm so sorry, your scenes had to go. And I couldn't get them. And so I called April and I was frustrated, and I was thinking, I'm embarrassed and I'm frustrated. I thought I was going to have this amazing tape. I thought that I was going to be able to hand this to my team and say, like, let's go get him. Look, I have this great tape with a household name. So now it shows that I'm ready for these roles, right? I'm ready to go to the next level. But that didn't happen. While I was talking to April, she said, well, why don't you write something for yourself? And I did her exercise about finding your emotional chords, and I realized that an idea that I had while I was waiting around in my trailer on set was the perfect vehicle for me to not only play one of my chords, but also it was a story that I was really passionate about telling. And so she put me on a writing schedule. This was in June. By September, I was at her home for a retreat. We banged out the script for a short, which we realized probably was more likely the climax of a feature. So she put me on a writing schedule again. A few months later in May, we were doing another writer's retreat where I was able to get the next draft done. And I'm still working through revisions of that. But what's interesting is that through this whole process, what I'm starting to learn more and more is that outer experience is an expression of inner reality. Okay, so as my inner reality shifted, my experience in the business began to shift as I understood that I am not an actor who has to wait around for someone to choose her and then to choose to keep her scenes in the film in order for me to have a career. I'm not that actor. Actually, I can be a person who is a creator. I can be a writer. I can be a producer. I can be a collaborator. I don't just have to be an actor who's waiting around for the phone to ring, who is doing her best at auditions and then giving away all of her power. So the first thing I did was I talked to my agent at the time and I said, hey, so I know we don't have the tape. That's a bummer. I still have this great credit. Half of these people don't even subscribe to HBO. They're not going to know. They're not going to see it. What are we going to do? How are we going to leverage this credit? And also, I need to know what my rate is now. Okay, because I'm starting to get these great guest star auditions. I'm starting to get auditions for major recurrings. And so we need to have a number in mind when we go to them. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And I threw out some ideas to him of what I thought we should be asking, because I asked what my friends were getting. His response to me was, well, I always try to get you more money every job. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So not 2 days later, I booked my first recurring guest star. I got a $50 raise from what I have been earning a day as a co-star. $50. So I fired him. Now, a lot of people would think that was crazy. I did not have another agent lined up. Hadn't even taken meetings. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew if the next job did come in and I had to give him a commission on it, I was going to resent it. I wasn't going to be happy about it. And I felt like I was selling myself short by sticking in a relationship that I was like, this person doesn't value me. He doesn't see my career going the same place that I see my career going, and that means that we can't collaborate anymore. So I fired him. And I took a bunch of meetings. I called all my friends. I said, who are you going to refer me to? All my friends who had careers that I admired, the careers that I was aspiring to. I said, okay, I need help getting into the door. And so they helped me set up meetings. And I took a bunch of meetings. And in the first 6 months, I got no agent. But I stuck with it. And in January of the next year, I got an agent. Now, I got an agent in January, the time that everybody says it's crazy. You can't even get a meeting with an agent. It's silly to try. That's when I got my meeting with my agent, and then I signed with them a week later. Okay? So first of all, there are no impossibles. It's just because it happened to somebody else doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Okay? You can make your own way. So I signed with this agency, and not a month later, I booked a major recurring on a limited series. That's coming up. It's going to be, we filmed all year, but it's coming up next year. And I thought, great, here we go. What's next? And since then, since booking this major recurring, I've booked a great, juicy top of show guest on a network show that will also be recurring. Again, not buzzy, but it's great money. It's longevity. It means that I don't have to do a day job in between. And I've also been able to work on some really high quality new media projects. Now, what's exciting to me about the new media stuff is that I'm working with people who have produced at the highest echelon. So we're talking the producers of Black Swan, okay? And no one under 14 watches TV on TV. They're all watching it on YouTube. And for me to be able to collaborate with these people who are working at that level on where very much the future of our industry is, in my opinion, going to be, is very exciting to me. And I feel like I'm getting in on the ground floor. Now, through all of this, I've continued to write, I've continued to create, and again, it's that idea that outer experience is reflected by inner reality. So now, when my team gets on the phone and they're talking about, oh, well, this is the way we need to position Hilary for these projects, and we need to let this person know that she's in first position for this. I mean, they're talking like I'm already this heavy mover and shaker, because they understand that's where it's going. It's inevitable because we've all stepped it up. And if that doesn't come from you, then your team doesn't know where to follow, right? Or the team is not going to reflect that, because that has to come from you. And when I'm not shooting, when I'm in between acting jobs, I'm not sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. I'm continuing to work on generating my own work. And so in that spirit, April and I were having a conversation about, okay, you've got the script, now you need to figure out what you're going to do to develop it. How are you going to raise money? Well, I've never done that. I was like, I don't know how to go to a TV executive and pitch a script that I've written and sell it to them with me attached as the lead. I've never done that before. So what did I do? I reached out to my friends who are executive producers, who are showrunners, who are co-producers, and I said, hey, how do I do this? I've got 30 minutes. I'll take 30 minutes of your time. I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you coffee. Can you sit down and talk to me about what you think I need to do, or the people that you think I need to know? Or can I talk through my pitch with you? Can you give me feedback on that? I was able to talk to the showrunner on Stranger Things. I was able to talk to a co-executive producer on Arrow. I was able to talk to a multi-Emmy award winning writer on Veep. I was able to talk to an Emmy award writer on The Handmaid's Tale. I was able to talk to the showrunner and creator of the web series Guidance. And that was all because the people that I'm reaching out to, they understand that A, I'm not wasting their time, and B, that if I'm asking these questions, I'm not asking them to give me a job. I'm asking them how I become a better collaborator, and they're willing to take that meeting because they know that even though I'm sitting in their office today, they could just as easily be sitting in my office 5 years from now. And that it's about building those long-term relationships and working, finding the people that are on the same page, finding the people that are serious. And April is the person who was able to make me realize what I have to bring to the table and to put that forward. So I am driving the direction of my career, and I'm not getting buffeted about by whatever trend comes up or whatever job happens to be available or whatever scandal or whatever people think that Black girls are in right now. Because that's not the point. I'm not here for a trend. I'm here for the long haul. So, badasses, this is your leader. Go find her, be brave, be bold, and stand up for yourself and stand up for your dreams.